seriously. I don't fuck around, dude. I live in here, bro. I don't really like to go outside that much, and so I'm
Same.
spending so much time in here that I just fucking got it. It has to be vibes, man. Or
I actually was going to ask you, like, with your room being that cool, I would never leave my room
yep,
personally.
yeah. I mean, honestly, the whole house has vibes like this, but I don't leave the house that much. I try not to if I don't have to.
Really? Okay. Well, we're gonna get right into it.
Very
Okay.
out there, dude. I'm just.
I mean, yeah, no, this is the Way Out Here podcast. I mean, we talk about this stuff all the time, but introducing Danny Suede. We got Danny Suede on the pod. First question I have for you. I mean, a lot of people already know you. Like, you've been connected kind of to the pod, like commenting, things like that. But where did you get your name from? I know we know you as a different name. We're not gonna like out you on here and like blow up your spot on here, but we knew you from school and we grew up with you, riding the bus and things like that. But where did you guys get your name and how did that come about?
Word. So it was actually Ben, my older brother. He was in this band called Crown the Empire doing metal and stuff. And they used to wear like fancy clothes on stage, like suits or whatever. And he had this like velour jacket. It wasn't even suede, but the band, like they always just give each other so much shit and they're always making fun of each other. So they called him Ben Suede, like a joke, like, oh, Ben Suede. Oh, but he was just like, fuck it, dude. That sounds sick. And just ran with it. And then, fast forward however long when we started our band together, he's like, you might as well change it just so it's across the whole thing. And I was like, fuck it, I like it too. It's just easier, it's more catchy, it's easier, so
I love it.
that's what
No,
it is.
I think for the people who knew you before, it was like a weird shock thing where you're like, okay, now I got to get used to this name. But now it's just like Danny Suede, Ben Suede. It's almost been so long that it's never not been your name.
Yeah,
it's true.
I think people who knew me too back then kind of can expect me to do weird shit and just like be out there, I guess. Like, I don't know if that's true, but I would imagine.
I love it.
That's like the least weird
guy. That's like the guy to be because you can't shock anybody. You've at this point, it feels like you've probably not done anything that's like, oh wow, I can't believe you did that. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, that's Danny Suede, dude.
Yeah, we'll have to, hopefully something like that'll happen. That's crazy as fuck that I do, but I don't want to be boring, bro. My whole life, like, I just can't be normal. Like, it's weird, but I just have to be different in some way. And honestly, that gets to the face tat thing. Like, that's a huge part of why I did that, because I'm just like, fuck normal shit. And I just want to be different.
I mean, let's get into it. We can go back to, because I do want to talk about your come up, because we kind of all grew up in just the boonies, and we went to Freeman, that is this 1A tiny high school. And then you guys being, we'll get into that, but tell me about the face tat. What inspired you for the face tat? Why the face? Like, of all the places on your body, you're like, let's send a face tat.
So there's honestly so much to say about it. And at the time when I decided to get it, it was really just like, I just was like, what if I got a face tat? Just kind of thinking of it randomly. And it just sounded so good to me. And I think that I kind of rationalized it in a bunch of different ways and figured out why it sounded good to me later on. And I'll just kind of go through some of the reasons. So like, one was what we just talked about, like, just to be different, just like to mark myself that it's different, and just like the attention aspect of it. Also, like, I always, I don't know, like, felt kind of like a bitch or like I'm weak or something. And like, something about getting a face tat is like bad. And like,
Danny's hard now.
Let's go. Exactly. You know what? That's not a far-fetched thing to think about, though, because like tribal people back in the day would blast their face, like leaders would blast their face. So you're not wrong. Like,
I like that point. I haven't thought of that. And that's a good point. And it's like, bro, people on the sidewalk like walk around me, bro. Like, and I like that, even though I'm really nice and I am a bitch, but pretty much like I'm just a lover. But that I just wanted that for that reason. And then the two kind of main pillars of it that I rationalized to myself at the time, one was almost like guardrails to keep me from anything in my life, whether it's a job or people that would judge me for having a face tat. Like if I couldn't get a job because I had ink on my face, that's not a job that I want to have. I don't want to go down that path in my life. Same thing with people. Like if there's people that don't fuck with me or don't give me a chance or don't, want to be around me or whatever, because I have ink on my face, to me, that's just like it's like, okay, good. Now I know who I'm not fucking with. And
Dude,
then
Travis Barker did that same thing. He just came out and said that. He was like, bro, I got my neck tats because I never wanted a regular job. He was like, this would stop me from getting a regular job. So I had to work so much harder being a musician, which is a really funny thing that you bring up. Like, it's just unrelated, but it's a funny way of thinking about it where it kind of makes you work harder because you're like, dude, whatever. I mean, you're way different. Travis Barker's inked hard.
And I wonder if he was killing it before he got the neck tats or no.
I don't think
he wasn't.
So.
No, he was like 16 or 17. Like he went full on. And I mean, he's always been super talented, but that was one of the things he said as a kid. He's like, I just did it because I never wanted to be a normal guy and I never felt like I could be normal. So I just made it permanent.
Fuck yeah, dude. Right on. The last thing is this, almost like, because, I just dropped out of school, right? So I just bailed, and, there was this part of me that, like, there's this normal part of life where I feel like when people go off to college or whatever, where it's like this commitment to a career or to like furthering your life, that's usually a financial commitment and time commitment or whatever. But I didn't have anything like that. And so part of this was a commitment to myself to like be like be an artist and be true to like just what I want to do and who I want to be, and like literally not care what society thinks of it. And it's just like kind of that kind of like almost promise to myself to like do what you want to do or whatever feels right to you or whatever, fucking do that. And now you're stuck doing that, bitch. So that's what it is.
Dude, I love that. That's like the best explanation for a face tat ever. Just like, I now have to be, successful in my own way, being an artist or, whatever you do going forward. And, for the most part, we can get into this, but I want to go back to like growing up at Freeman. Obviously, you guys, I mean, all of your brothers had to feel a little bit different, just not in a bad way, just like this place ain't for me, not just school part, but the people surrounding you, because, you're at a farm school, there is some like city kids, there's some choice kids or whatever. But for the most part, I can't imagine how you felt going to school every day and being like, bro, I'm not better than this. This just ain't me,
Yeah. That's exactly right. I think at the time, I probably have talked some shit on Freeman in the past, but at the end of the day, looking back, like I pretty much have all love for that community and those people. I think it was hard for me. Like, bro, I can remember vividly, bro, in Mrs. Preble's class in 8th grade. I was 3 weeks in. Bro, and I'm sitting there and it hit me like literally in the face that I'm like, bro, this is so fucking wrong for me to be here. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And I literally went home. I told my mom, I was like, I'm not going back to school. So we're going to have to figure something else out because I literally am not going back. And she said, can you just, and she knew that I was struggling in general. Like I was, just not like with grades necessarily, but just like mentally. And so she's like, can we just look into online school? And I'm like, sure. So we went over to like East Valley, had a program or whatever. So we went there and got me enrolled that weekend, got my books and everything. I went back on Monday to school and had all the teachers sign me out and just dipped. And that was like the end of that pretty much. Like I started going to band class. And so there was a little connection, but yeah, it just didn't work for me,
Let's talk about your parents then, because we know your parents relatively well, just them being in a small community and everything. And I think for parents, especially, it's not even that you want your kids to do something specific. You just know how hard it's going to be if your kids don't do that specific thing or go the way of the majority. Right. So, all parents out of fear push kids towards, the majority of like, go to school, go to college, like just be normal, like don't do anything crazy. Like, let's keep this within the boundaries. But, for your parents, I mean, my God, I probably had a ton of fear because they knew that you guys were 100% different. You got Ben going off on international tours at 17. You've got, you and your brother doing different things. So what were those conversations like with your parents when you're like, dude, I'm in 8th grade. Like, I already hate this. I'm not even in high school.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah. I think I gotta give props to B for really paving the way on that shit, because he was doing running start, I think, and then he just got picked up by that band and went to Dallas and just got signed like that. And so I think my parents let him do that because it wasn't a pipe dream. It was like, here's a real opportunity. There's like literally a contract, money. This is all figured out. The tours are booked. Like everything was, it wasn't like, I want to try to do this. It was like, here's an opportunity, take it or leave it. And I think they knew that he would have just literally left. So, and then I can't say enough good things about my parents. They've been literally so supportive. It's insane. Like I'm just so lucky that they just literally wanted us to do what we wanted and just to thrive. And so I think that they saw Ben do that. And then with me, like, it's not like I just wanted to dip out of school and do nothing. Like I was every day, I would play drums all day. Like I was doing the band thing and the photography thing, and I was working so hard at it. And I was already getting jobs doing that shit. I don't know if I did when I left school, but when I actually dropped out and like went and got my GED, I was already making a bunch of money doing the photography thing, had the opportunity to go tour with Ben. And so it wasn't just like, I'm just want to play Call of Duty or something and do nothing. Like we were going, I was like, I got other shit to do, mom and dad, like I'm going. And I think every step of the way, we're pretty hard headed. And I think they just knew that if they didn't let us be free, it would cost them the relationship. Like we would have just went and did our thing. And they just chose to support us and still do. And it's, props to them. Like, I don't know how they did that. And I think they did get shit from their friends and from other parents, being like, are you crazy? Like, what the fuck are you're letting your kid just drop out and shit. So yeah, I think they really, threw down for us, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so much different for you and your family too, because it's not like any of you are stupid or anything. You didn't drop out because you're like flunking classes, not showing up, like not doing anything. You could have passed high school easily. Like none
Yeah.
of you are dumb people. So it's not that was it. And for a lot of people who drop out, it's like you said, like, I hate school. I'm flunking classes. Let's go play COD, whatever. You guys are like, no, school's not that hard. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, facts. And, I think that another aspect that was really hard school wise, like getting good grades was like relatively easy for me. I struggled in some areas, but the social aspect and like, I just had so much, like, I would just worry so much about like, if I was cool or like what I was wearing or like what the drama was and like who liked who. And like all this shit would just consume my fucking psyche. And I'm like, I can't fucking live like this. Like, it's just can't do it. And, so yeah, that was another thing that contributed to me leaving. And I think, like I said, my parents could tell that I like wasn't doing that well psychologically. Like I was kind of slipping and like getting a little depressed or like tripping, and I think they're like, okay, shit, like we gotta like do something here. But the other interesting thing, which I wanted to mention, is my little brother, because he had a really hard time in school too, also dropped out, but his hard time was due to the pressure of living up to the standard of me and B, where he's like, was in high school relatively normal and wasn't really trying to do the music thing. He's just being a normal kid. And that pressure, I think, really caused him a lot of shit and was hard for him. And that's a lot of the reason why he bailed, which is crazy.
That's the most wild dynamic ever, right? Because you have like being in your parents' shoes. You have Ben, who is, this absolute rock star. He's, going to Running Star. He takes a trip to Dallas. The next day, he's an international rock star. You have Danny, who's obviously talented in a lot of these creative areas and is an artist. And then you've got your younger son, who doesn't really want to do any of that. And so like, just like a normal ass kid, like the rest of us, and then he's trying to, do all of these things, and it's almost impossible. But man, that's like your family dynamic is so intriguing to me. Like I I'm kind of like a nerd in this area, just graduating with a social science degree. So I'm like, oh, what's the psychology behind it? And, what are the odds like this happens and blah, blah, blah. But, I could talk about family dynamics any day of the week, but I did want to talk about so tell us about like when Ben does that, he goes on tour and you're at home, you're obviously seeing your brother thrive. What was that like going through, your high school years and, getting your GED, and what were you doing during those years, and then joining the band, or what was going on during that time?
So basically how that went when Ben left, like we weren't homies. Like I was like, see ya, bitch. Like, like we didn't get along, and it was just hard. We'd been in bands previously and it always broke up. We're always fighting and just like just fighting all the time. And so when he left, I was like stoked. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm free. Like this is, this is freaking gas. Like, let's go. But sure enough, he comes back after being gone for a few months and like is just transformed. Like he lost a bunch of weight. He was just like, ripping shows, like different person. And then the time we'd spend like during Christmas or whenever he was home from tour, we really bonded. And then like next time he left, I'm like crying, like don't leave. And so that was a huge flip in our relationship, getting that space and that perspective. But then let's see. So when I dropped out of school, I was kind of making YouTube videos and stuff. One of the things I was doing, and I started getting into photography and video, and I got a job doing that. And I was in like a metal band at the time, a different band. And so I was doing that full time, basically, while Ben was off, and he was helping my band too. And I ended up quitting that band because they got a record deal. But I didn't want to sign it. Like it wasn't that good of a deal and it just didn't feel right. And so I just said no, and they signed it. And then I went kind of the video route. And then one day Ben calls me. He's like, yo, come drum tech for us. I was a drummer too. Come drum tech and do photos. So I just went on tour with him and was setting up the drums and doing photos and videos for the dudes, and did that, for a while. And then after that, we moved to LA. He eventually left the band for kind of creative differences and whatnot. And we started our band, and then eventually moved back here. And then, we've been ripping it, doing our band since then.
So after touring and everything, you're like touring with the band, you go to LA, you're in this like creative space. No knock on Spokane, but Spokane's not this like creative juices flowing kind of city. Yeah. How's being back in Spokane now and, doing what you're doing? Because it's not like you stopped doing anything, you're still an artist in a lot of ways. I mean, hell, you got so many YouTube followers, so many Instagram followers and people still keep up with your stuff. It's not like that fame went away.
Well, dude, honest to God, it did in a lot of ways. Like when we went to LA, it was almost like the peak of the popularity for us, right? And it was amazing and also fucking horrible. And it was so expensive. There was points where I was so fucking poor, bro. And it was just horrible, bro. And I had some amazing fucking experiences there, met a ton of cool people, got to do a bunch of cool shit, and it was gas. But at the end of the day, when Ben and I started our band, we're like, yo, it's not sustainable here to build this. Like we had to really build it from the ground up in a lot of ways. And so we just were like, yo, let's go home and just kind of get in our cocoon. And then once we came home, we kind of, started building it, but it's went a bunch of different ways. Him starting his studio, me doing my personal artist thing, starting my podcast. But it's been brewing. And as far as the band goes with the brothers, like the shit we have like in the chamber is fucking insane, which I'll send you guys when we're done, see what you think of it. But we got an album, I don't know when it's coming out. But we got we've been working on some shit, bro. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so but honestly, bro, the transition from LA to back to Spokane, when I was in Spokane, probably that first 6 months was like the worst time of my life, bro. The horrible mental health, bro. Had to get a therapist, like was not doing good, bro. Like dead ass. And, like on Instagram, like I got like 50,000 now or something, but I had 100,000 at one point. I made my whole living off of Instagram, bro. Like I was, as far as engagement and like people fucking with me and shit, it was way crazier than it is now. And we really, in a lot of ways, fell off once we came back here, and a lot of people stopped fucking with us, and I'm having to just build that shit back organically because I got all that attention from the band that I was working for, basically working for them, being associated with them. And Ben had a girlfriend for a while that was pretty famous, and that also just like, bro, like she tagged me one time and I literally got 20,000 followers in a day. Like, you know, and so that shit was crazy, and that, you know, launched us. But then once he broke up with her and he left the band, a lot of that shit went away, and we had to kind of build it back ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot in one thing.
That's so weird that happened so drastically, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's so wow.
I'm just picturing
crazy.
you guys in. I mean, that's the meteoric rise of you guys. You know, just being like tagged and stuff like that, and gaining that many followers. It's just so instant, and I can't. That's just kind of the world that we live in now, though. I was kind of when you're talking about being in LA, and I was thinking about you guys being in LA now around a bunch of TikTokers and like video people like that. I'm just thinking of Danny trying to like keep up with these TikTokers in this space that he's in now.
I don't even want to think about what TikTok Danny would be like. I tried a little bit of it for a while, but that ain't me, dude. And I just don't want it to be like, it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like your vibe really. And that makes sense. Like the problem that I see with creators now is anything that pops up now, it's like a whack-a-mole thing. They try to, you know, be different for every single social media app out there. But the creators that I really love are good because it's something that they can do on any app. Like their content is evergreen all the time because they're just like cool people to either listen to on podcasts or watch on video or whatever. And that's for every platform. But the people that are like cool on TikTok right now, do you think they could move over to like Twitter and be like funny on Twitter? Probably not.
So who do you think is the shit? Like who creator wise, and like, who do you look at that you're like, that person's gas, that person's gas?
I follow a lot of comedians, and like I've followed like Mike. I don't know if you know, like he's a rapper, like Mike Stud. He used to be Mike Stud, now he's Mike. And I follow a lot of comedians though, like Theo Von. I think Theo Von's one of the funniest people on earth.
Love him.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I'm a big podcast guy too. So I love Barstool Sports, like Barstool, but not in like the fratty Barstool video ways. Like I love KFC radio. So like KFC and Fights, those guys, I'm like deep into the Barstool world. So people like that are, I know via podcasts, but I also watch I follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, and, you know, the 1 Minute Man, that's KFC radio. You know, a lot of people follow that. So those are my like creative space of like, I just like comedy. Like when I go on social media, I want to laugh and I want to be like, you know, entertained. I don't want to see like sad shit. I'm also not in like the I'm not a big motivation guy. Like I hate seeing on Instagram, like you can do anything you set your mind to. Like I legit hate that stuff. Like if I see that on TikTok, I honestly like block people who send that stuff.
Never backing down, always staying focused, going.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And now this year with everybody getting like stimulus checks and shit, you see a lot of people posting that stocks and you got to buy this, you got to do this or whatever. It's like, it's so annoying. Everybody now is a stockbroker and like finance. I used to follow a lot of like finance Instagram or whatever, just on like little tips, how to budget, whatever, just like little stuff. But now you see just these people giving like hot tips on crypto or whatever. And you're just like, dude, like, I just hate that stuff. Like I like crypto personally, but I hate people like gassing it a bunch because that means it scares me because it means it's going to go down probably.
Yeah, that whole world's crazy. I think that a lot of it is just people being stuck inside and the way social media is evolving. Like everyone has access to the stock market and, you know, buying Bitcoin or whatever in a way that they haven't necessarily in the past. And it's just fucking exploding.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, everything's like literally in the palm of your hand with your phone.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, crazy. like we said, you could hop on any app right now, take a 60-second video, and TikTok's so crazy that you could legit just like pop off and have 3 million likes and
that fucking guy, views. The ocean spray dude.
Yeah.
Mad Dog 420 or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy's, he was like, he took that video of that whatever, the cranberry juice, and then he was like with Snoop Dogg like literally 2 weeks later shooting a
that
commercial. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
That
like,
video changed his whole life.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, TikTok freaks me out the way it sucks me in, dude. Like, it's the type of shit when my phone dies, I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Like, fuck. Release me. Dude, I started doing this thing where I only go on social media on Mondays for 2 hours and I delete all the apps because it was ruining my life, bro. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I can't manage it. And it makes me feel like shit, makes me hate myself, waste all my fucking time. Can't do it. And so, and now that I barely go on, way happier. It's crazy.
A lot of people do
Yeah,
that
that's a
where
good-
it's just, they take like a 7-day, 30-day hiatus and they come back. They're like, dude, I don't know why we have social media. Like the biggest problem to me about social media is it could be so cool. Like the concept of social media and like sharing cool things and doing like that. It's such an awesome concept. And we've just fucked it up so much to where it's now like comparing yourself to people and, you know, like showing only the good things. And like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It was such a cool concept back in the day. And now it's so toxic and so crazy to where it's almost impossible to actually go on. Like I stopped going on at night before bed. And honestly, I'm so much happier. Like I just,
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate doing that stuff now, but yeah, I need to get into, I know, are you a big like meditation guy?
Dude, I have been in the past and I do off and on, you know, probably like every other day, but it's like the key to my mental health, honestly. But I've just been lazy. I need to prioritize it more, but it's huge for me, like for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody, like every podcast or anything that I listen to, they're always making meditation sound like it's just the key to life. And I need to get on it. But yeah, it's hard because everybody's so busy and everything. And that's obviously a huge excuse. But, you know, I put my head on the pillow and I'm done. Like I crash hard.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. It's definitely hard to do it. I did I was doing the Waking Up app by Sam Harris, and it like tracks how many day streak you have and like how many hours. So like that helped keep me going because I'm like 60 days, bitch, let's fucking go. You know, but they fucking took it off. So I'm like, well, fuck, now I have no reason to do it.
Dude, that's the other thing about TikTok. They're weird about their policies. Like TikTok takes anything off that's even a little outside the boundaries. It's really weird how their policies are.
Yeah, I don't know what's the move on that. Like because part of me wants just the Wild West, but I'm like, that can't work. Like we can't have it be the Wild West, but the censorship encroaching, I'm just like, just getting uncomfortable with this shit. Like, what's going on here? You know.
It's
definitely
also people.
oversteps.
Yeah, it's overstepping. Also, people are just assholes online. Like it's almost like you can almost understand it to an extent because people just push the boundaries of like hate shit. Like, could you imagine being a Facebook moderator? Like censoring stuff on Facebook? Oh my God. The shit that you would see that people post and is clearly just not okay. Murders, like people dying, just like nudity. I mean, it would be you couldn't pay anybody enough to actually do those jobs.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Yeah, completely wild. All right. I wanted to, before we hit one whack thing, I want to talk about next projects and what you guys are working on. Obviously, you dropped that you guys are going to have an album coming out. Are you still having that Wonderneath stuff? Is that still going?
Dude, so yep, I just changed the podcast name to Wonderneath, and it's not on a schedule, but I basically do it when my brain overloads with shit that I'm thinking about that I need to. So I'm probably gonna rip it this weekend on this Chris D'Elia shit. So that'll be fucking a bomb probably. But,
dude, we talked about him like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. We have no idea how everybody.
We talked about him like when we went golfing this last weekend or whatever.
Oh my God, dude! Every time I talk about it, it gives me the chills because I'm just like, how is this dude out not in jail or something? I don't know.
That shit's crazy. I honestly am not fully sure what I'll have to think about that. But also, I want to apologize for bailing last week. But dude, I fucking died, bro. Like straight up, bro. I don't know if I got food poisoning or I was sick or whatever, but dude, like I was throwing up so hard it hurt my taint, bro. And like I think I got a hernia. Like, dude, it was fucked up, dude. I was literally dying. Like I was like, yeah, it was not fun, bro. If it wasn't for my immune system, I'd have died.
Low-key the worst pain I think I've ever heard.
Dude, that's
just like throwing up so hard your taint hurts is a different kind of pain.
Yeah, I was like, this is not good. So sorry about that. But okay, back to the other shit though. Wonderneath is the podcast, and then the clothing brand too. Like I'm about to drop some bikinis and shit with the butterflies on them with masks, with matching masks. I'll send you guys some.
Oh yeah.
And then I have these like fuzzy like sets that are sweats and not a hoodie but a top, and they're super comfy lounge. But it's not out yet, but it's coming, so you'd be on the lookout.
Dude, that's rad. I think I was looking for some like podcast intro stuff today, and I was looking at licensing and all the bullshit that you have to go through if you actually want like sweet music. I was like, actually, I have the perfect. I mean, Danny's coming on. We've got to cop some of his music for our intros so we can actually use it for our podcast intros, because our podcast intro is getting kind of like lame. It's been 85 episodes. We got to switch it up a little bit.
Dude, I might try to make you guys something custom, bro.
Oh, dude,
That'd be sick.
look at this. We getting free service already.
Sick, dude. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about it after.
I would love that. All right. We got to do one whack thing. We do this with all guests. So one whack thing, the guest always goes first, but basically we just have a news story or something crazy that we can talk about, and then we all round table it. And then we have 4 stories that are insane to talk about. So Danny, do you want to start with your one whack thing?
I will. It's not necessarily new though. What I was thinking of, is that fine? If it's old?
No, that's fine. It's just, no, it's all good. There's really, there's no rules.
Okay, cool. Dude, this shit fucking hurts me, dude, to think about this. So, I gotta set it up a little with some context, but this is a fucking whack ass experience, bro. This is my brain being whack. So, my brain, it daydreams so hard, bro. Like I'll get lost. Like for example, the other day I'm brushing my teeth. I'm having a daydream that I'm down by the river with my homie. It's tribal days. We're catching fish and shit. This other tribe comes over and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, who are those guys? And I'm out loud and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, damn. So that's how my brain is. Okay. So, okay. Throw it back to 16, 17-year-old Dan. There's this girl, bro. She's older than me. She's a freaking hottie. She's like, it's like that dream girl when you're like that age, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, oh my God, obsessed with this chick. Don't know her, but I've seen her at my church and stuff sometimes. And I'm just, dude, I think about her all the time. I love her, bro. And, but it's like, there would be no chance with her. Right. So my homie starts dating her little sister, and eventually one day he's like, yo, we're going over there to watch a movie with the homie. You should come. So I'm like, okay, roll over there. We're watching a movie. The door opens, out she comes, bro. I'm like, oh shit. Then, bro, she comes, sits by me, bro. And I'm like, yo, oh my God. And so my heart's beating, bro. I'm like, this is the craziest thing ever. And you got to know, like in my head, I think about this chick all the time. So this is some crazy shit. And so she sits next to me. I'm like, fuck it or die, bro. Put the arm around and we're getting it. And she's laying on me a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like all my dreams are coming true at this point, bro. Like this shit was literally, I could have died then and been happy, right? Like this was the best thing ever. Then, so everyone else dips, bro. So it's just me and her. And I'm talking to her. I'm making her laugh and we're flirting. It's going good, bro. And I'm like, bro, I'm killing it. Okay. So, and also like I had imagined us as a couple all the time. Right. So like my brain doesn't differentiate that real from not. So we're talking about pets and stuff. She's like, oh, I love cats. I was like, oh, I love cats too. Can we have a cat? And like, I'm like, ugh. And she just goes, what? Like said, can we have a cat? And dude, honestly, after that, I fucking basically blacked out of embarrassment and just fucking, I don't know what happened. The next thing I remember is her just pretending to fall asleep. She said like something like, did you really just say that? And I don't even know what I said, bro. And I'm just like, fuck, bro. And she just pretended to go to sleep. I think I put a blanket on her, dipped, never talked to me again. But
wait, is this still a daydream?
No, that was real life.
Real life.
No, that was real. No, okay. What I'm saying is that I had imagined her, like us together in my head so much that when we're talking in real life at the movie, this is real life, bro. And I say, she's like, I was like, I like cats. I was like, can we have a cat? Like we're together or some shit. Like can we have a cat together, bro? What the fuck?
So dude, so your brain's like, I mean, you're like really fucking situations up because you're like, I can't differentiate a daydream from real life right now.
Clouds, bro. I'm fucking in the clouds. Like, why would I say that, bro? Can we have a cat? She even met me right then, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen, bro? I literally blacked out, bro. Like, it was horrible.
Is there any chance can you come back from this?
She's married, but yeah, she saw that shit. I made a video about it forever ago, and yeah,
Dude, what a
that,
wild twist of events. Just
yeah,
like, oh no, she's married, dude. Like I had no
married.
chance in the beginning.
No, she wasn't married at the time. She's married now, but no, but I actually talked to her about it way later, like years later. I made a little vlog about it or whatever, and she saw it, and she's like, "Ha, that's so cute" or whatever. But I was like, dude, that shit hurt me to my core, bro.
Danny, that might be the best one whack thing that we've ever had.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna follow that up.
I'm pissed that you.
I was
first.
planning it, bro. I was either that. I was thinking about it, bro. Here's the thing. My fucking brain, bro. I ran through telling that story to you guys on here 50 times in my head, bro. That's how my brain is, bro. I'm freaking in the clouds, like imagining shit like all the time. It's fucked.
Oh, dude, I can't even imagine. Could you imagine if you actually could like project your brain onto, TV or something where you could actually see your thoughts in real time? I would love to like dive into Danny's brain.
That would be probably pretty terrifying and embarrassing, honestly. I don't know if I would like opt for that, bro. I would probably get in trouble. No one would fuck with me. Shit goes crazy in here, bro.
Danny would be canceled like immediately.
Oh yeah.
All right, Matt, what's your one whack thing?
I don't know how to follow that up.
Yeah,
mine's about a freaking Komodo dragon.
Brutal setup.
Oh yeah.
So there's this new story out of Thailand. This person got a video of, they call it a water monitor, but it looks like this giant Komodo, like a Komodo dragon, and it's climbing up the walls in 7-Eleven. And Thailand officials had to like come and remove it from the business and everything. Luckily, no one was hurt or anything like that. But
Damn,
dude, I got what's that?
Can that shit bite you?
Dude, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck with them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at so I'll link it in the Zoom here. Look at this thing like crawling up.
Okay, let's see what's up.
Oh, I saw this on Twitter. Oh my god, dude.
He's like crawling up the wall.
This is like,
can you imagine going to 7-Eleven trying to get a freaking Slurpee and this?
What's he doing?
He's just chilling. He snuck in there somehow. Just climbing up the wall.
Hungry. That's a fatty, bro. Look at that guy. He's thick.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's thick with like 4 C's.
I'd be freaking out if I saw one of those things and I was trying to get a Slurpee, dude.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Yeah, dude, you're just
not a fan.
trying to
of
get a
any
big gulp,
reptiles.
and all of a sudden, reptile climbs up 4 flights of shelves.
Oh god, dude.
I mean,
Hell no.
It's not like they're that fast though. You could fucking outwalk it.
Dude,
You
I'm
think so?
I don't know, dude.
They're not that fast. What?
Dude,
Dude,
They can
top speed, bro. I'm pretty sure they can rip.
I don't think it's a Komodo dragon, but it's pretty close. A Komodo dragon can maximum speed is 12 miles an hour.
Okay.
That's pretty quick.
you could still outrun it.
Dude, but the fastest people in the world only run like what, 21 miles an hour?
Yeah, 23. You're telling me you can't run faster than 12 miles
You're
an hour?
telling me you can run 23 miles an hour, Taylor?
No, that's not
Exactly.
at all what I just said.
23 miles per hour is fast, dude. What?
Also, bro, if he's on top of the shelf jumping down at you.
Oh god, hell no.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, so how fast can the average person run? I'm curious.
Oh, probably like 15 miles.
Like top speed, yeah, probably like 16 miles an hour, like maybe downhill.
What kind of human is this?
Dude, if you put the treadmill like 10 miles per hour, you're cooking.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah,
but that's pretty fast though.
That is fast as fuck.
like Usain Bolt, I think the fastest he ever went was like 21 miles per hour.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The fastest people in the world are running that. Like we're not that, and they're hands above faster than us. Like it's not even close how much faster they are than us.
Bro, I hate to be the guy that had to deal with getting that damn dragon down.
What a thankless job the animal control job is.
Yeah.
The guy that has to have the stupid ass net and like grabs the crocodile or whatever, and is just like, all right, you come with me now. That sucks.
Okay, so here's the thing: 15 mile an hour running speed is very fast for a runner, as it equates to a 4-minute mile if you're running 15 miles an hour.
Damn.
Dude, so that means like
Maybe
the
you-
average person
maybe-
probably runs.
So you're telling me that a Komodo
Like we can
dragon-
run top speed like 15 miles per hour. It's not sustainable though. Like we're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
running 15 consistently. You know.
So, okay, so here we go. The average running speed for a healthy, so I'm screwed, adult human is probably somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 miles per hour.
That scares me a lot.
Dude,
Like I hate
oh
that
my
those things
God.
can go that fast. That's bullshit.
And they're that big
Imagine
too.
going that fast. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you're racing already. You're lucky
Dude,
if you
yeah.
don't have a heart attack by the time you
And
get
an
out of the
adult-
store.
Dude, an adult Komodo dragon. I like this isn't a Komodo dragon, but I'm pretty sure they're like very similar to that. Actually, here it is right here. Oh, it doesn't give me any sort of like. Anyways,
I don't understand why
um,
people own those things as pets.
dude, a Komodo dragon
Crazy.
male weighs anywhere between 170 to 200 pounds,
What?
Oh my
and
god!
and length up to 8.5 feet.
Come
That's
on.
That's an alligator or a crocodile. Whatever
Oh,
one's
God,
on
dude.
land. I think crocodile's the one on land.
Well, no,
It could-
one's freshwater and one's saltwater.
Is it alligator?
Whoa!
I don't
Atta
know.
boy, Matt. Nice way to throw
Dude,
that. in
animal
there
science,
casually,
Munstead,
bro.
baby.
That was so cash. Holy
Munstead.
Mr. Munstead was the man. I would
Hell
love to have Mr. Munstead on the pod. I actually want Mr. Munstead on the pod the same time Danny's on. I want them to just hash it out live on the pod.
Yeah, I
Just
don't know
quick.
that dude.
Oh, he was the best. He would joke about growing weed in our
Like, you're not 21. don't
class
touch
like
that.
all the time. Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
He'd spill his coffee and say, "You're not 21. You can't touch that." It was so funny.
The best. All right, Tay, what's your one whack thing?
Mine was a woman. What's this lady's name? Hold on, sorry. Anyways, this lady has the world's longest fingernails being displayed in Ripley's, believe it or not, Guinness World Records Museum. She hasn't cut her nails in 30 years.
That's
And-
nasty.
and her
Are they
nails-
like
Just
curling
gross,
up?
bro. Just gross.
Yeah, dude. They were
Oh.
so long that she would like have to like she was like dragging her nails. It was disgusting. They were 288 inches.
Dude, I want us to create a petition against these people because we got to stop putting them in the Guinness Book of World Records. If we stop glorifying this, people will stop fucking doing this. I'm tired of people taking 30 years to clip their nails. That's gross as shit.
Take it 30 days. Yeah, it's basically a disability, I feel like.
You're telling me
Get
that these
shit,
guys
bro.
can park
You can't.
closer to the grocery store? Like, get out
No,
of here.
I was saying you can't use your hands for shit. Like, how do you do shit?
That's dude, they had a
do
video
shit
of her
like that.
and she's like trying to use her phone and she has to like throw her nail over the phone and she's like dragging her finger.
That's
It's
so.
disgusting. It's so
nasty.
gross, dude.
She
Like,
definitely doesn't have a job. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't type. That's for
Like,
sure.
yeah, like, what are you
Yeah.
doing as an occupation having those nails?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like,
mean,
this is your occupation.
that-
You get in the Guinness Book of World Records every
Yeah,
year.
but remember,
They
you
pay
don't
you-
make any money.
Yeah, no, you pay
No.
them.
Yeah.
Like, she,
what the fuck?
That's
Dude,
that's whack. That's one whack thing.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like 50 grand for
absolutely.
them
Yeah.
to like
yeah, it's like
come
50,
out and do it or whatever.
50K fee or something like that. Also, like, you know exactly what she did with her stimmy check. She just spent it on Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, it wasn't nail clippers, that's for sure.
She's stimulating the economy.
No.
God,
Yeah.
that's so
With her
nasty,
nails.
dude.
Ah,
Oh God.
the grossest part is Taylor watched a 10-minute video on this today.
I did.
You
I
watched
did.
a
I got
10-minute What are
Yeah.
you doing?
dude, you ever get sucked into those videos like the zip popping videos
Oh,
or like
yeah,
the-
baby.
dude, like if
You
I
know that,
watch
baby.
one, I will watch 1,000. Like I
You're
just can't
psychotic,
stop.
dude. You need
And
help.
they took like those Dremels, like when you break your arm and you have a cast, they have to take like a special Dremel
Oh,
tool,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
cut that plastic.
It's
So
crazy.
that's what they had to use to cut her nails because they were so thick at her fingers. Like obviously they're not getting
Oh, she
fingernail
cut 'em?
clippers around. Yeah, she had them on display.
Oh, I guess true.
Yeah.
They're not
So-
gonna cut her hands off.
So
or
she
whatever.
beat. So the world record before
That's a
her
disability.
was 226 inches, and then she beat it obviously at 288. But it's so gross.
So
And then-
was it for both hands then?
Yes,
Like,
both
is that
hands.
combined or each hand is that long? Like each nail
Uh,
or whatever. Does it say?
No, on a pair broker on record last time.
I don't even care if we get this answer. I don't care about this girl at all. I hate that she had those long nails.
But like at least clip one side if
Well,
like
288 inches.
Dude, that's so long. Like that is so long.
200 and how long? 288?
I'm so bad at math, bro.
Yeah, I'm like,
Dude, that's 24 feet.
Oh,
yeah, it has to be
come
combined.
on.
There's no
Yeah,
fucking
that
way.
has to
She's
be-
got 20 feet of nail. Yeah, no, it's combined because the
Okay.
nails, like if you watch the video, like if she had her nails at her shoulder, they were down to her like
Oh yeah, so it has to be
shins at
combined. Then.
least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're probably like 2-3 feet apiece. Just-
Oh,
Why
that's
why
so
doesn't she have
bad.
any friends to tell her like, hey, let's
she probably did.
cut it.
100%. No, she definitely did because at one point in the video, she goes, "You can't let anybody get in your way of the things you want to do." I'm like, what kind of fucking goal is that? To like, I just don't want to take care of my fingernails. I'm just gonna let them grow out.
Well,
And
at
I'm
least
gonna put them in a
she,
museum.
I hope she at least like cleaned them.
She painted them. So
That's a lot of nail polish.
Yeah, dude. She's
Would
spent
you
her
like a
stimmy
spray
just on
can?
the- yeah.
Yeah.
She just dips them in paint buckets. Just oh, we gotta wait for them to dry. Also, you can just do curls with your nails. You don't need dumbbells. You just curling nails.
Wouldn't your dude? I feel like if the nails were that long, she would like rip a nail like completely off her like nail bed.
Um,
Ooh,
I'm
that's a
Like
good
it'd be
question.
way easier to do that because like
I'm sure your fingers would adapt. Honestly, if she hasn't cut them in 30 years, so your fingers would grow so thick, like the nail grew so thick on her.
Oh.
on
I
her
see what you mean.
finger. Like I'm sure
Well-
that it just got. I don't know. It's blows my
I don't know
mind.
either.
And she was obviously in Florida. We can assume.
Yeah,
Was she in Florida?
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
Orlando.
that-
Yeah,
that's-
not surprised.
We just keep those people over there.
Yeah.
just in that corner of the world. All right.
love it over there. Big fan.
Yeah, big fan
Big
of Florida. All right. My one whack thing is I was deciding between a news story or a personal story. And I have a follow-up story for one whack thing from last week. So I talked about Hannah getting flipped off by some like Subaru Forester last
yeah.
week. I have a follow-up to this story. Dude, I don't know why, but the Subaru Foresters in Spokane, the angriest people that you'll ever meet. I got flipped off yesterday by a Subaru Forester. Not the same one either. A different Subaru Forester. You'll never believe this. Like Hannah and I are on a run right now. We
Well,
might
what
get
did you
to three next week. Well, so I didn't really do anything. I could see why this would be a little annoying, but you know the like Freya exit where you are trying to get on the freeway. So it's between Freya and whatever the other exit is.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of like a weird
Going-
little
It's
like
just so
on
sh-
ramp.
It's
It's
just
so
really
short.
short.
Yeah.
So like I was hauling ass to try to like get in front of this person, not to be annoying, just like I didn't want to get in front and slow down or whatever. And they were not letting up. Like they were side by side. I was like, somebody's got merged somewhere. So I was just like, I'm gonna be the like bigger man here and slow down. Well, they slowed down at the same time, and I was
Oh,
like, oh
no.
great. So I pin it because I was like, all right, I'm not like gonna hit the guardrail here. So I pin it. They speed up as well. So they're like racing me in one lane. So it's like one lane, me and the Subaru Forester. So I finally like eke it out. They're like right on my tail. They get right next to me again because I'm like switching lanes. This was going to Hannah's house. And so I'm like side by side. They rolled out their window for this, which was an all-time move because everybody knows if you open up your window on the freeway, it sucks. It's noisy, whatever. So like real passion out here. Rolling down their window. They give me a double bird. Not
A
just,
double
they
bird.
give me a
Oh
no,
my God.
no hands on the wheel, just double bird. I was like, I honestly kind of respect it. Like that, it takes a lot of passion to double bird on the freeway going 70.
Was it the
So-
passenger or like the driver?
Oh, it's definitely the driver. Yeah.
Ballsy.
Yeah. No, it's very ballsy. Didn't appreciate the double bird, but I did respect the hustle of, going 2 for 2. So Hannah and I both got 3 birds technically in 2 weeks. So hopefully we keep that streak going here alive in Spokane. So
Why?
if you ever see a Subaru Forester out there, my one
Flip
whack
'em
thing
off.
is avoid them. Yeah, flip them off. Fight fire with fire here. Yeah, we're definitely. The problem with me too is like when people flip me off on the road, which doesn't happen very often, actually never, but I like laugh at it. Like, I think it's funny as hell. Like, I don't get upset and like we don't feud, which actually makes them even more mad. I like kind of giggle and
Just
I
kind of
just
wave
like
at him.
go
Have a
on
good
my
day.
way. I like give the little like 2-piece. I'm like, hey, yeah, like whatever. Like that sucked for both of us, you know. But they get even more mad when that happens. I like give them like a little wave, kind of giggle. They look next to me and they're just like livid. So yeah, that's my one whack thing. You got to look out for those Subaru Foresters in Spokane. And if you have a Subaru Forester, please be nice to other people. That's all I have to say. Just like give a little bit of kindness out there. Maybe you can even the scales, maybe balance the scales a little bit. So yeah. All right. That's our one whack thing. Danny, thank you so much for coming on. Any last things? Maybe you can plug your stuff that you're doing. Do you have a release date yet for your album?
The album doesn't have a release date. I just put out a new song last Monday. So I have a new song out called Kit Kat. And I got my own personal music releases coming. Got one on the 26th. And I got one in May on the 17th. So you can check out my music. The clothing brand, DannySuede.com. Wonderneath podcast. Yeah, that's my shit. And thanks for having me on. Yeah, that was fun as fuck.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll have all the links in the description of the podcast. So if you're interested in going to Danny's new music, any of his clothing line, we'll have it in the description. But Danny, thank you so much for coming on. It was an absolute blast.
Hell yeah, dude. My pleasure.